Welcome back to another triangle strategy.
Deep in the Grand Norzelian Mines lay a most unexpected discovery. Crystals of pure salt.
So that's pretty much what happened last episode. House Wolffort raided and secured Grand Norzelian Mines and found out there's actually an abundant source of salt crystals. And now the war is coming to its final stages.
Now in possession of knowledge that could alter the course of history in Norzelia, the members of House Wolffort gather at Whiteholm Castle to discuss their next move.
Grief's good passion move. So now we're gonna be doing our last conviction choice, which I think we have enough morality to make it unanimous.
Unexpected though it may be, the salt crystals are now ours. How shall we proceed?
Carefully, for it has the potential to alter the balance of power across Norzelia. This is an opportunity to reshape the realm to our benefit. We must be strategic.
It's a target on our backs is what it is. There'll be no peace for us so long as we hold them.
Hyzante will set upon us with a fury we've never known if they hear of this.
She's right. They will stop at nothing to defend their faith.
Nor will Aesfrost go quietly into the night.
Then let us prepare for when word does spread, rather than fret over how long we can keep the secret. Whether we protect the salt as ours or find another way to use it, we must act soon.
What say you, Your Majesty?
We find ourselves at a crossroads. Not just as a kingdom, but an entire realm. Our decision will touch every life in Norzelia. I too wish to act quickly. But I beg you all for a moment alone with my thoughts.
Your caution is admirable, but ill-advised. Hesitation could cost us everything.
That much is obvious. Yet I cannot race headlong into the unknown when so much depends upon us.
Benedict, I find myself unmoored as well. I wish to hear from all present before we decide upon a course of action.
As you wish. Pray let it be swift.
Serenoa, answer me this. Can I count on you to walk the path with me, whatever it may be?
I was named Lord of House Wolffort long before I was inducted into the Saintly Seven.
Not anymore, because he pretty much has a claim to the throne too.
And I've been your friend even longer still.
Say no more. Take the others to Castle Wolffort and await my word. Likewise, inform me of any movements from Hyzante.
As you wish. Until we meet again.
Okay, before we went to the stories, I'm gonna do some character stories. Actually, we'll do the stories first. Makes more sense that way. Keep it going.
Have you heard the popular rumor, Lord Claris?
That Hyzante intends to raise an army against Glenbrook? Yes, I am familiar.
So it's reached the Consortium then. Is it true?
King Roland has only just reclaimed the Crown City with Hyzante's help, not to mention restored relations with them. Ordinarily, such a thing would be unthinkable, but the rumors are so persistent that I think something may be afoot.
For example?
I wouldn't be so restless if I had an example to give.
Aesfrost gathers its troops at Twinsgate. Might they have heard the rumors as well?
Perhaps. A battle for the very soul of Norzelia may loom on the horizon. But therein lies the opportunity for merchants like us. You can't wage war without a surfeit of supplies.
You're quite right about that.
And each shift in Norzelia's power balance opens new business opportunities.
Will the Consortium continue trading with Hyzante?
'Tis difficult to say. I believe House Wolffort's actions from here on will be key to the Consortium's decision.
House Wolffort, you say?
Indeed. They've been involved in most every conflict between the three nations on this continent. Why stop now? I shall wait and see how Lord Serenoa responds first, lest I make any hasty decisions.
Too bad for them. I'm gonna be taking the least path of resistance route, you would say.
I am gladdened to see each and every one of you, my ironclad brothers in arms, here at Twinsgate. I have asked you here to tell you of a most fortuitous discovery. We have found crystals of salt deep in the Grand Norzelian Mines. Alas, Glenbrook has taken those very mines from us. What's worse, Glenbrook's esteemed House Wolffort is led by one of the saintly seven of Hyzante. They will no doubt be informed of the salt crystals, and their precious religion will be shaken to its core. I trust you can all imagine how Hyzante will respond to such an affront. They will not go quietly, but will instead seek the crystals for themselves, that their reign of terror may continue unimpeded. Therefore, we must subdue Glenbrook and seize the mines for Aesfrost if we are to counter this grave threat. But we cannot stop there, for that will only draw Hyzante to our gates. They will stop at nothing to conquer all of Norzelia in their name. The Duchy has never been in a more precarious position. But we will not yield. We subscribe to no faith, and we bend the knee for no king. We shall greet our enemies at Twinsgate with cold, hard steel. Our newest weapon, the Death's Knell, is nearly complete. With it, we shall strike back at Hyzante. The false goddess shall crumble beneath the sheer force of our iron will, and Hyzante reduced to rubble along with her. Raise your swords, my black iron heroes. Your names shall be cast in iron when the histories of this day are written. You shall be known as the defenders of Aesfrost! For Aesfrost!
Oh yes. The Death's Knell will reduce many a falsehood to rubble, dear Gustadolf.
That means he still has an agenda against Gustadolf, I assume.
Ah, Milo has sent a dispatch from Glenbrook. Deep within the Grand Norzelian Mines lies... It would seem salt crystals were found within.
Impossible!
The discovery of salt outside the source explains Gustadolf's recent provocations.
How can you be so calm? The teachings tell us that salt is a blessing, bestowed only upon the goddess's followers. The discovery of these salt crystals is an existential threat to Hyzante.
Salt crystals are salt too. We need only keep word of this discovery from spreading.
Of course. But how?
The Hierophant has spoken. Minister Exham, you shall raise an army and seize the Grand Norzelian Mines in Hyzante's name.
The Hierophant asks us to invade Glenbrook?
Do you have another way to silence King Roland and his royal hounds in House Wolffort?
Minister Serenoa is one of us, and thus is honor-bound to heed the Hierophant's word. But we know not if he will do so, or if he will cast his lot with his precious king. You shall ask him yourself when you surround Castle Wolffort en route to the mine.
And if he resists?
Dispatch.
You are free to deal with him, as we do with all who forsake the goddess.
Well, there it is.
Hyzante has learned of the salt crystals. Minister Exham of the Saintly Seven wastes no time in mustering his army, which now marches on the Grand Norzelian Mines. Elsewhere, Gustadolf amasses his own forces at Twinsgate in anticipation of the war to come. All eyes are on Glenbrook, where Roland and Serenoa's pronouncement could touch off a battle for the soul of Norzelia. After much deliberation, Roland makes his way to Castle Wolffort to inform Serenoa of the decision that now weighs heavy on his heart.
Got some small detours. Tommy's gonna tell him that he's his brother or something.
I appreciate you coming all this way, Roland.
I was the one who asked for your time, so it is only natural I make the journey. I wish to tell you that I finally made up my mind.
And I would hear your decision if you were willing to share it with me.
I've long pondered over the one thing that Norzelia needs most. I thought back on the Salt Iron War. 30 years have passed, yet the root of our conflict remains the same. Each nation still thinks only of itself, wishing to fill its coffers even at the expense of others. But who bears the brunt of such a war?
The people.
Exactly so. The avarice of the ruler is an existential threat to their loyal subjects.
And yet without that wealth, the people suffer just as much. They languish in poverty.
This much is obvious. But there can be no winner without a loser. Remove one, and you necessarily remove the other. If we achieve equality, we achieve peace.
Welcome to democracy.
And how do you propose we achieve? No. No, surely you don't mean...
Yes. The goddess's teachings. All can live as equals under the goddess. An authority greater than any king. The model nation was in front of us all along, Serenoa. The holy state of Hyzante. I have decided that we must give the salt crystals in the Grand Norzelian Mines to Hyzante.
And in so doing, you'll give them control of all Norzelia.
Exactly. There will be no more squabbling over salt. Norzelia will know eternal peace at last.
Unequal peace, surely. One built on the backs of a people like the Roselle, if not the Roselle themselves.
I am not blind to that fact. But so few will suffer for the good of so many. Nothing in this world is perfect, Serenoa. The sacrifice of the few for the good of the many. It's the only clear answer, and one I would give every time I were asked.
Submitting to the goddess will rob you of your kingship.
So be it. My crown, my pride. They are but small prices to pay for peace.
You are truly prepared to throw it all away.
Now he's starting to think like Regna.
Join me, Serenoa. Let us unite Norzelia under the holy state.
Roland, this is quite sudden.
I understand. Pray, take all the time you need. I expect Frederica will want nothing to do with this plan, seeing as it forsakes her people. I am already mourning the rift this may cause between you. But I shall not be swayed. This will be my final act as Glenbrook's king.
King Roland's anguish plays plainly across his face. It pains me to see him so tortured.
I am not surprised. The future of our kingdom, to say nothing of the entire continent, rests upon his shoulders.
Pray tell, what do you intend to do about the salt crystals?
In truth, I cannot decide. Salt is too precious to be hoarded. We've a duty to share it with the people, which is...
Where the difficulty lies, yes. The source makes that all too clear. Salt lies at the heart of every war in Norzelia.
Would that the boundless salted sea of Rosellan legend still existed. We'd have no need of conflict if there were a source of salt for all.
My love, if I may, the discovery of the salt crystals has made two things plain to me. The first is that my mother spoke true in the legend she passed on to me.
And the other is that the goddess's teachings are nothing more than a lie built to constrain your people.
Just so. We are guilty of nothing. Yet the Roselle languish in the source, where they are looked down upon and forced to work until they die. Entire generations lost, countless lives given to Hyzante's cruelty. Cruelty created to justify Hyzante's own avarice and lust for power.
Such is the ugly lie at the heart of their teachings.
One revealed by a crystal of the mineral they hold so dear. The time has come, Serenoa. The Roselle must be freed. The salt crystals have brought us to the brink of war. We can harness this unrest, incite the Roselle to rise up and rebel against their captors.
I am with you. Believe me, I am. But you make it sound so...
Simple. Yes, I know. But the suffering of my people is so distant for everyone else. We can no longer wait for someone to do the right thing. Help isn't coming. Why else would my own mother incite rebellion? We are alone.
I swear to you, none of this feels distant to me. The Roselle live in my domain. I am betrothed to you, my dear. It couldn't feel any closer.
And I thank the stars that I have you by my side. I do. In truth, that's why I think this time will be different. Why I'll be able to accomplish what my mother could not.
I agree. But the risk is immense. Suppose we succeed, what then? Hyzante will not let us go quietly.
Of course not.
And when that time comes, you can lead the Roselle to Centralia, just as your mother wrote about in the book she left behind. Beyond the Great Falls and the Falk's domain at the end of the Norzelia River. The ancestral home of the Roselle.
But that's just a legend.
We've already found one legend to be rooted in truth. Perhaps this one is as well. And if not, at least you'll be safe from harm.
I doubt Benedict will share our feelings, though. Abandoning all we've built to embark on a journey fraught with danger in search of a legend. Yet no matter how perilous the path ahead, I would happily walk it at your side.
There should be one more, if the pattern is right. Yep, with Benedict.
I trust you understand what a monumental effect the discovery of these salt crystals will have on Norzelia's history. Whatever course of action we choose will determine whether House Wolffort leaves a legacy in that history, or is expunged from it.
How would you proceed, Benedict?
I would do all I could to keep it from falling into Hyzante's hands. They already control the source. With the crystals in hand, they will solidify their grip on the realm and in time dominate it. The siren song of a false equality under their goddess shall blanket the land, claiming every domain and its people.
Even though they count me among the Saintly Seven?
Even then, for that matters little when the equality they espouse is dictated by the goddess, or should I say, the Hierophant. In the end, they will have the same life and death control over all Norzelia that they now hold over the Roselle.
And our wounds from the battle with Aesfrost have only begun to heal. Hyzante will destroy us if we wage war against them in our current state.
But they stand little chance against us if we ally with Aesfrost.
Ally with Aesfrost? Are you of sound mind, Benedict?
Quite. Think about it for a moment. Aesfrost wants nothing more than to loosen Hyzante's grip. They will go to war if it means control of the salt crystals.
Our interests are broadly aligned, yes, but...
Aesfrost has been building toward precisely that purpose for some time now.
You speak of the Death Knell, the weapon that Cordelia mentioned.
Precisely. A weapon capable of reducing the goddess's shield to rubble, leaving Hyzante's capital ripe for the taking. Without that weapon, we cannot win. You need only say the word, and I shall convince Aesfrost to join our side.
I appreciate your candor, Benedict, and I do not doubt you could secure Aesfrost's cooperation. But I fear the harder fight is within our own domain. King Roland's heart will not be easily won.
I bid you listen closely and calmly to what I'm about to ask.
Oh, if I have an idea what he's trying to say, maybe make Serenoa king if Roland doesn't agree.
From whence this somber tone?
Do you believe King Roland is fit to rule?
What are you implying?
Decorum is of little use when the fate of our realm is at stake, Lord Serenoa. Are you content to spend the rest of your life in servitude to another?
Not another word, Benedict. Roland is more than my king. He is my friend.
And you are Lord of House Wolffort, whose military prowess is known to all Norzelia. Not the guard dog of Glenbrook and Hyzante. What else are you here to do, if not to protect your house and keep its banner aloft? But you have the potential for so much more. All Norzelia could be yours if you but desired it.
Treason, if not outright regicide. These are your suggestions.
Of course not. The blood in your veins and the royal family's ring are claim enough to the throne. There is no need for violence.
I told you not to speak of that again.
But you did not tell me to forget. The time to reckon with your lineage draws near. You must make a...
I've heard enough. Leave me.
Just know that I will do anything you ask of me, Lord Serenoa. I pray that you make the right choice, not only for House Wolffort, but for yourself.
Alright, I guess it's time to decide with the scales. Before that, let us recruit this guy. Could still showcase him in the last few stages.
Ah, my shop!
Someone stop this madness!
Carry on screaming and sniveling! This land is ours now, and we'll do as we please!
You monsters!
Ha! Try me! I'll cut you down where you stand! And just what do you think you're doing?
You disgust me. Be gone from this place.
So, you've chosen death then?
Hold! Thus my eyes deceive me. Is that not Sir Flanagan?
And what if I am?
'Tis him! The bloody shield in the flesh!
Former Black Iron Captain! Damn it all! Run for your life, you fool!
Oh, he's Aesfrosti.
How far they have fallen. They confuse might for morality, and sully the duchy's good name.
Hail, soldier! I cannot thank you enough for coming to my aid.
'Tis instinct. I cannot abide such cruelty.
Interesting combination though, shield and hawk.
Though I no longer call myself a soldier, it is the only station my skills afford me.
My lord, a man calling himself Flanagan requests an audience. Will you grant it?
Flanagan? The name sounds familiar somehow.
Erdor would know, that's why he's there.
Ah, he fought in the tourney, didn't he? The one they call the Bloody Shield.
The Aesfrosti soldier. What brings him to me? Anyhow, send him in.
My lord.
Been a few moons, Bloody Shield.
And many more since I answered to that name.
Then what brings an Aesfrosti to us this day?
Words cannot bring back your countrymen, but I give them to you anyway. I condemn the duchy's actions with every fiber of my being. Deeply ashamed am I of our Archduke's willingness to shed the blood of innocents. Meager though they may be, you have my sympathies.
So, you came all this way just to apologize? You're a strange one, all right.
I am well aware that words alone mean little. And that is why I offer my service, that my words might ring true.
Why House Wolffort? There are far greater armies that would give anything to have a warrior like you in their ranks.
I have no interest in further bolstering the might of Aesfrost or Hyzante. They trample the weak with no remorse. I will stand for it no longer.
And you think you can stand here and call us weak? You little...
You intrigue me, Sir Flanagan. But what of your title? Is your shield truly stained with blood?
It's a name given to me by men, nothing more.
You can trust he'll hold his own in battle if you take him in. One look is enough to tell you that.
A boon to our cause, then. Provided we ourselves do not become the very thing you despise. House Wolffort welcomes you, Sir Flanagan.
The feeling of intrigue is mutual. I am at your service.
You're two peas in a pod, aren't you?
Flanagan should be really good, but we only have 3 chapters to make good use of them. Got one more.
That should do it. You should be able to use that arm just fine in no time.
Many thanks, lad. You truly are a talented one. My apologies for treating you like an intruder the other day.
Think nothing of it, my good man. If you need anything else, I'm more than happy to help.
Your magic never ceases to amaze. Did you learn everything from your grandfather?
You bet I did. The Archmage Grandante taught me everything I know.
Grandante. There's something I've been meaning to ask you, Narve.
Ask away.
I was in Hyzante for a short time, studying at the Ministry. No doubt you know it's considered the greatest authority in this world when it comes to matters arcane. Their library contains everything from records of magically enhanced soldiers to technical tomes and much, much more. Their chronicles on the history of magic, too, were the most comprehensive in our realm. And yet, I do not recall seeing even a single mention of a mage named Grandante. One would think the achievements of such a powerful sorcerer would be recorded somewhere. Why are they not?
Those awful Hyzantians. Truly, they have no shame.
Narve?
The chronicles you speak of? In truth, they were written by my grandfather's own hand.
What? But then why is he not credited by name?
He refused to do the research the former Hierophant ordered of him, and was branded a heretic and unbeliever. They erased his name and achievements from the records, and made it like he never existed at all. He was then banished from the city and died in exile, his name all but forgotten. It's all their fault no one knows of the Archmage Grandante.
I had no idea.
These robes I wear were once his. They're the only remaining proof that he once walked this realm.
So you carry his memory with you everywhere you go?
I promised myself I would make the Archmage Grandante's name known around the world. So I'm going to work harder than I've ever worked before, until all in the realm know his story. And in the process, I'll become the greatest mage this world has ever seen.
That's the spirit.
Thanks, Gila. Just you watch, Grandfather. I'm going to make you proud.
Alright, Grandante. Name alone is grand enough. Alright, time to decide. It's go time.
You are certain Hyzante's army marches for the Grand Norzelian Mines?
There is no doubt.
They've heard word of the crystals.
It was only a matter of time. We knew this.
Aesfrost's army gathers at Twinsgate as well.
War's breaking out over this thing, and we've got to be ready.
How will Glenbrook respond, King Roland?
There's no need to prepare for war. I have decided that we will surrender the salt crystals to the holy state of Hyzante.
What?
Furthermore, I hereby declare that the kingdom of Glenbrook and its people shall submit to the goddess and her teachings. There is no way to bring happiness to all Norzelia with the salt crystals. Which is why I have chosen a path that will allow the greatest number of people to live in equality and harmony.
Utility.
How could you? Do you not see that Hyzante's dominion over Norzelia's salt is why we are in conflict already? Is the suffering of the Roselle not proof enough that the goddess's vaunted equality is a lie?
She speaks the truth, my king. Handing over the salt crystals is tantamount to giving Hyzante's goddess free reign of Norzelia. Will you so readily surrender the realm to the Hierophant?
I acknowledge the abdication of my kingdom and kingship alike. A small price to pay in my eyes, in exchange for the security and prosperity of the many.
And the sacrifice of the Roselle, is that a small price to you?
It is.
How could you say such a thing to my face?
I, for one, oppose. I would prefer to ally with Aesfrost and strike back at Hyzante. The salt deposits within the mines give us the leverage we need to convince Gustadolf to join us.
Ally with Aesfrost? You dare suggest we ally with the man who murdered my father?
I see no reason why we should not. You proposed abdicating the throne for the sake of the kingdom and its people. So you should have no trouble putting aside your own feelings and judging this matter dispassionately.
I cannot believe my own ears. I will not have you lecture me on feelings when it is not your father he murdered.
None of you can see beyond your own grievances. It's no wonder my people have suffered for generations. We're told to believe in the goddess, while our own lives are thrown away to make a few more grains of your precious salt. And now, even with proof that the goddess is a lie, you would watch us dig our own graves for your comfort.
Lady Frederica, please. We shall speak of the Roselle in due time.
No, I've heard that before. Your due time is never, and I will not have you cast us aside for another 3 decades or more. All else is in disarray. If Hyzante seizes the salt crystals, we forfeit the best opportunity in decades to free my people. We know the truth. We must act upon it. We must be a light in the darkness.
We cannot afford to dilute our forces when the enemy marches on us as we speak.
So we are a distraction to you?
I am merely being rational. Liberating the Roselle would be extremely dangerous. We cannot take such a risk. Suppose we succeed. How do you propose we fend off the fury Hyzante will rain down upon us?
Aesfrost would pounce on us, sensing weakness at the undue burden we've taken upon ourselves.
Precisely. We would be without allies and ripe for the taking.
There is another way.
And what, pray tell, would that be?
We set out alongside the Roselle in search of Centralia.
Centralia is a myth.
The legends of my people are true.
I care not one whit if they are. I will hear no talk of forsaking the Wolffort domain.
Oh, they all disagree at each other. It's like the triangle.
Silence!
Alright, time to make a decision, finally.
I've heard enough to know where each of you stand.
So it's time to use the scales.
You all hold the courage of your own convictions.
I do.
Nothing I've heard here has swayed me.
I feel the same.
Very well. But know that a choice must be made. There can only be one way forward. Face the scales of conviction and prepare to make peace with the outcome.
Big oof. The vote we take today may well open a rift between us. Nevertheless, it must proceed, and I am prepared to accept its outcome. Do you have time to explore? Should we go utility or liberty? Considering we'll be doing utility options next lap, let's buff up our liberty. But of course, the path before me diverges as well, and I must also take time to think before making a decision. Let us both choose a path that leaves us with no regrets. So there's no going out. Everything is here. I feel this makes the most sense anyway. Indeed he is. Though it does make me wonder if everything he has done is simply for the sake of our house, or something more.
However,
Here we stand after a bitter fight to reclaim the crown city, only for the king to speak of forsaking it. As his subject, it is my duty to follow his decree, and yet... My lord, the choice before us feels immense. I am utterly adrift. Pray, tell me how you see the proposals from King Roland and the others. I need your guidance. Okay. Looks like an easy morality anyway. You've taken Frederica's sides in all of this. What fascination do the Roselle hold for you, my lord? Let's be personal. So if the choice is to ally with the duchy, who prize might over all else, or submit to the holy state, who prey upon the weak...
But...
You mean to suggest we simply do neither? Precisely. She has shown me the Roselle legends are true. That means there is hope for all of us. A hope I would bet my life upon. So long as we sit between two nations who've no compassion for the weak, I fear we will never know peace.
Furthermore...
I take your point. War will spread and perhaps only end when the Deathsnell and Aelfric are unleashed upon the continent. So you see why I would choose to flee with the weak, rather than be party to the atrocities of the powerful. It will be a flight amid a hail of arrows and steel, but so righteous and noble that I would be proud to give my life for it. You've stated your case well, my lord. I appreciate your guidance. I have heard enough, and shall arrive at a decision in due course.
What do you need?
We didn't even hear from Gila and Eredor. Each path before us demands a great sacrifice in exchange for a great reward. I'm sure King Roland, Benedict, and Frederica have agonized over their proposals.
Well...
So now must we agonize over our own decisions. I must say, I'm surprised by your support for Frederica's vision. I've been by her side for years, but even I must admit it is rather hopeful, if I'm being charitable. Perhaps you see something I do not? Alright, this makes a lot of sense for a sequel. Like Beyond Norzelia. You mean to forsake not only your domain, but all Norzelia?
I don't know.
I can see that Hyzant will not admit defeat should we manage to free the Roselle. Do you truly believe that searching for Centralia and starting anew will prove any easier? I do, though. I acknowledge that it is far easier said than done.
Uh-huh.
I should say so. It sounds like a daydream, if I may speak so plainly.
I don't know.
Yet the world is vast and full of wonders. I cannot in good faith argue that Centralia does not exist. Perhaps forging ahead is the only answer. May it lead us to the future you dream of, if this is what you desire. If nothing else, as Frederica's attendant, I must say that it warms my heart to see you support her so diligently. You must truly love her. Alright. I have much to consider now that I've heard your piece. Pray give me a moment to gather my own thoughts.
Serenoa.
Only we can free the Roselle and expose the lie that has kept them in bondage these many years. However, we must move quickly while their gazes are fixed upon the salt crystals. I believe we can succeed. I hear your plea, yet I cannot help but wonder if you wish to act with too much haste.
But...
I know not what I can do to prove to you that I have thought this through. I swear to you, this is no fit of pique. Benedict's stratagem may also provide the chance to strike at Hyzante. Would that not be enough? It also prolongs this war, and thus the immense suffering of my people. Even if we do prevail, you know all well that that my brother that is not merciful man, he'll not spare so much as a thought for the weak. That much is true. The Roselle's plight would then be buried once more amid the negotiations between the nations. Do you see? The time is now, and only we have the power to save them. Power we forfeit if we assent Roland's plan.
I have decided.
His is the one vision for our future that I cannot abide. Perhaps my concerns seem narrow when all Norzelia is at stake, but I know you can save my brothers and sisters. I beg you consider it. Your words have no power here. Only we can free the Roselle and expose the lie that has kept them in bondage these many years. I believe we can succeed.
But... I have to...
Serenoa.
We must give Hyzante the salt crystals, cow Aesfrost, and unite all Norzelia in the name of the goddess. Else we will never know peace. The Roselle will continue to suffer, 'tis true, but this will end war as we know it, and countless more will live in peace as equals.
I have made my decision.
I will see this done, not just for the people of Glenbrook, but for all Norzelia. Roland, you are the king. Surely your cooperation with Hyzante need not mean the forfeit of your kingdom.
I think not.
That is where you are wrong, my friend. My time on the throne has shown me that the people need a force more powerful than any king to show them the way. There are many paths that lead us out of war, Roland. Cooperating with Aesfrost, for instance. End the war by allying with the very Archduke who set this in motion? No, cooperating with a tyrant ends nothing. His avarice has brought only pain and suffering to this land. Moreover, if anyone understood the torturous path I have taken to arrive at this decision, I thought it would be you, Serenoa.
My lord.
We share a common goal with Aesfrost at the moment. It is incumbent upon us to seize the opportunity and rid Norzelia of Hyzante for good. Indeed, the salt crystals make an alliance with Aesfrost possible, but Roland would never assent to it. He feels the weight of the crown, underestimates his own abilities, and has allowed his hatred for Gustadolf to cloud his judgment. I sympathize, but those matters should not have no bearing on the welfare of our house. Perhaps you are right, but then what of Frederica's vision? Do you concede that her plan concerns our house?
Quite impossible.
I concede nothing, for her strategy is out of question. She asks us to forfeit all we have fought to build in this domain. How can I reasonably entertain such a proposition? And you'll brook no argument otherwise. None.
We must
Nada.
decide.
May I remind you that you are Lord of House Wolffort. Your duty is to your people above all else.
I believe I've reached a decision.
This moment requires a dispassionate mind. I pray you have one.
Aye, lad.
Our sweat and bloods fed this land, built it in proper domain. I see no reason why we should surrender it all to Hyzante. And Lady Frederica, while I sympathize, asks that we risk everything for the sake of the Roselle.
Here's what I think.
Benedict's got the right of it, I reckon, but even that doesn't quite quiet the nagging feeling I get every time I think about our options. How could you possibly support Lady Frederica's vision? Have you gone mad? This is such a troll answer. The salt is the source of a lot of trouble, yes, but there's precious little we can do about it.
Consider this.
Anyone in Norzelia would tell you the same. I'm well aware of our situation, Erador, but I tire of fighting. We cannot go on like this. I beg you, join me in finding another way forward.
And further.
You've precious little idea how much I sympathize, and I want to help you, but Lady Frederica's vision is... It's fantasy, my lord, and a foolhardy one at that. You can beg till you're blue in the face, but I doubt you'll win much support. Thank you for always speaking true. I just need a moment to think this through.
Lord Serenoa.
Benedict and King Roland would march us to war. Frederica would see Hyzant hunt us for all eternity. Perhaps her vision is not so different. So it's come to this. Ally with a one-time opponent or flee with the Roselle.
However...
Bold proposals all. Our tactics must be flawless. So you assent to Frederica's vision for the future. War is coming, a war for all Norzelia, and you would forfeit your role in it. Will they though? Hyzant won't crumble.
Perhaps.
The dead still in Elfric, the casualties would be immense. I had not considered that they might unleash simultaneously. The stakes warrant it, whether they are complete or not. We have already shown them the way by using Elfric in battle. Precisely, they will undoubtedly both be employed.
Then?
Unprecedented destruction is all that awaits us here, a war whose victor will rule over a pile of ash. And I will not be party to such devastation. I can think of far more productive uses for such power. I see your reasoning. I confess I thought only in terms of battles past. So much so that I forgot avoiding battle was ever an option. I appreciate your candor as ever. I ask you for a moment alone with my thoughts. And I believe that's it. I think this is going to be unanimous, or close to unanimous. Easy win for morality, since that's our goal since the beginning anyway. So let's just get to it.
It is time to cast our votes. The opinions before us are many. Roland's, Frederica's, Benedict's. Which to choose? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
Big irony in this is Serenoa never had a say in the tokens.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I have made up my mind. I stand with you, Lord Serenoa. Easy convince her there. Another one.
You have my vote.
I put my faith in you, Lord Serenoa. But in terms of the number count, Serenoa is not part of it.
I have faith in you.
I've decided that this is what's best for both King Roland and us all. He's just the influencer.
Forgive me, lad.
I'm sorry, lad, but my gut tells me this is the right path. So he's going with Benedict.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
Easy green, baby.
The way forward is decided. Frederica's dream is worth realizing. We will free the Roselle from the source.
And we know Benedict's gonna leave. Sad, sad. And that is that. We'll see what happens next episode.